Hello everybody, welcome back to another video on the build bench. Today we're going to do a bit of a tutorial video, more on MSI Afterburner, but there will be a little bit on Furmark here, with pretty much having to use Furmark or some of the GPU stress test for while you're overclocking. But this will be more heavily focused on how to use Afterburner. I will leave links to MSI Afterburner and Furmark in the description below, where you can download them yourself. Just be warned, like, overclocking can obviously cause instability issues with your GPU, and obviously it's on you if you choose to try and do a manual overclock when you've never done it before, or if you don't understand it. Obviously any damages, that's not on me, that's on you if you want to do it. But yeah, we'll get into it. So obviously, as you can see, this is Furmark, this is MSI Afterburner. This is how yours should look when you open it. This is just the default skin from when you install it. You can change the skins in the settings, but I don't really see the point. So basically what you want to do is, well, let me run through a couple of things first. You see the temp limit and the core voltage grayed out on this. Now, they never used to be grayed out. Last time I used Afterburner, they weren't grayed out, and apparently you can go into the settings here and sort of make them so you can use them again, but apparently the developer of Afterburner made it so you couldn't use these without changing settings yourself, because people were just cranking stuff and either doing damage to the GPU or making the system really unstable, or because obviously if you make it too unstable, you can end up with a blue screen and then you've got a clear CMOS sometimes and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, we won't be touching these sort of things for now. I'll be just running through like a basic overclock. So basically, what I'm going to say, right, you need both of these ideally. Basically why is obviously when you run this, if you can see, I've not got it set to full screen, you just want it in windowed mode, because then you can keep messing with MSI Afterburner while running the stress test at the same time. So basically what you want to do on this is, in the drop down, select, obviously you've got your aspect ratios, and then you want to select like what resolution the monitor is. Now I'm only on a 1080p monitor because yeah, I never ended up getting around to buying a 1440 or a 4K monitor, so mine is obviously 1920 by 1080. It tells you the GPU there and what temperature it's at currently. It also tells you that on Afterburner here. You tend to know from Afterburner as well if you haven't got drivers installed, because it won't actually come up with what GPU is there. I found that out on a video on here. So yeah, basically what you want to do is, on Afterburner, you want to turn your power limit up, like as high as it'll go, sort of thing. This just allows the like a percentage more power that the GPU can draw than it does sort of stock, sort of thing. So you want to move that all the way up, and then you basically want to hit stress test there. It's going to come up with like a warning saying you may experience instability, your system's shut down, blah 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 blah. You can tick that to display it or not, and then you hit go and it comes up with this. Now what we want to do is obviously have that in front of it. Obviously we've got a readout here. You might hear the fans on my card ramp up because it is like the triple fan card and it is quite loud sometimes. So yeah, as you can see, you've got like your memory speed, like your clock speed, how much power the card is drawing, sort of thing. You don't particularly want to be running a test like this if you're using either a cheap, shitty power supply or a power supply where you're already pushing the edge of your power, because it will not be good for your system. It'll end up just shutting itself down. And you also, if you're using a GPU that's got like 2 8-pins, 3 8-pins, like 6 and an 8-pin PCIe connector or whatever, you want to make sure they're coming off separate cables from your power supply. You don't want to use one and then the pigtail off it as well. So you want to make sure it's 2 separate cables. But basically what we're going to do, as you can see here, we'll start with memory overclock. Mine's just factory set to 2000. Now if we click on it and we type in 2010, yep, there's my fans ramping up. For some reason that didn't want to save, so I'll do it manually with the slider like that. What you want to do is keep, I mean, ideally you can bump this up into like 50 increments. I'll do it at 40 like that. You want to keep doing this, keep bumping it up. As you can see, we're at 20-30 megahertz on the memory now, but keep bumping it up and bumping it up. You might start to see on Furmark back here, like artifacting. Once you see artifacting, you've gone sort of too far and you need to pull it back a little bit. So we're at 2060, let's try 2080. We'll see that bump up, 2068. Still fine, no artifacting. Bump it up to 2100. Click apply again, 2088. Still no artifacting. Let's bump it up to 2120. Obviously, how well your card obviously does as well depends on basically your luck of the draw in the silicon lottery. So we're still fine at 2120. Let's try 2130. 2118, it's still fine. Let's go 2140. We are still fine. And 2150 is the max speed I can go on the memory for the RX 6800. Now we're drawing 223 watts. We're at 2160, 2170 on the core clock, 2140 now on the memory clock. We're bouncing between, we're hovering around the 40 degrees mark, which isn't bad. Using obviously just over 9 gig of RAM, but we're getting 260 FPS. Now, the core clock, I tend to just knock it up in like little increments. Give it a shot, 2164, 2176. 2164, 2169. Let's try 2342. That's gone up by 11. You just want to keep going up. Obviously, you keep clicking this to apply it, and then what you can do is you can save like a profile into there, because we know this is stable. So we've saved this into the one slot, so that if you do have any issues where like you blue screen or you get system instability or whatever, you can just revert back to these. So we'll go from 2353 up to 2364. Try it again. We're still fine. We're now getting around 265 FPS in Furmark. We'll try 2376. And we're still stable. 2387. Still stable, still fine. And basically I'd save this one again, but I'd save this one into the number 2 slot. Now if you watch, like here when I click 1, it goes back down to the setting I obviously had the 1 at. So I'll obviously just stop that here for now. Ideally what you want to do though is put like an overclock on and kind of leave Furmark running 5 to 10 minutes, let your system get under a bit of load, get a bit of stress behind it, because if you do this and you start this and you run it for 10 seconds, it could be fine, but then 10 minutes later it might not be as stable as you think. So yeah, that's just like a basics on how to overclock. I'm not going to go into the settings on how to highlight core voltage and that so you can use it, because I don't want anybody that doesn't really know what they're doing causing any damage to their card. Your fan speed settings, I don't do mine on here. Because I'm on an AMD card, I do it in the AMD app. But you can control it on here. You can set it to automatic. You can set your own custom profile for your fan curve. But yeah, that's just a basic. You can obviously get graphs up here. Look, that's just a basic on how to put a basic overclock on your GPU. Like I said, you don't want to be doing this. Obviously I'm just going to reset mine because I don't run an overclock. But you don't, like I said, you don't want to be doing this or messing around with it. One, if you don't really know what you're doing. Two, like I said, if you've got a power supply that's already pushing the limits of its power that it can deliver, you want headroom before you start trying to overclock. And yeah, like I said, if you are going to mess around with overclocking, you are going to mess around with power sliders and all that sort of stuff on your GPU. If you do damage it, that's on you, that's not on me. So yeah, there's plenty of videos as well. There's plenty of other videos from other creators. I think Jace 2 Cents has done them, Linus has done them, I think Steve from Gamers Nexus has done them. They've all done them. So if you, after watching this video, if you're still a bit unsure about whether you should do it and how to do it and stuff like that, then I'd recommend probably watching one of their videos, just for peace of mind. Like I said, I don't really run an overclock. I don't find that I need it. In the future, maybe. But, yeah. So for now, guys, I'll leave this video here. That was just obviously a basic intro into how to use Afterburner and Furmark. Like I said, I'll leave a link in the description below for both of them. If the video helped you out, feel free to like the video, drop a comment. You know, the basic YouTube stuff, and hit that subscribe button if you wouldn't mind. I'm pretty sure we're 2 subscribers away from 50, which doesn't sound like a lot, but I only started the channel 3 months ago, so it's not bad going. But yeah, for now, guys, thanks for watching. Catch you all in the next video.